And following on from the last video, I would like to show you what we've kind of been working on. We've dug back the chest system and we're starting again. I had a comment on the previous video and we've dug out the area ready to build the entire system, which we'll try and get around to doing in this video, but we've got a lot to do as per usual, like I said, every goddamn video, so let's get on with it. Because not only do we need to actually get this system built and in place, we also need to build the item deposit system. When you actually calculate that, we're going to need about 3 and a bit lines of stacks of chests, so we're not even halfway there, and I spent hours last night collecting wood, so we've still got a couple of hours of wood collecting to go. But the main element of today's video, and the whole purpose of this video, is to build Durin's Bridge in our world, which is going to require us to dig back all of this area. However, I'm not going to go overboard with the mining because you guys really told me off in the comments about not using a beacon in this world. Now listen, I am going to be getting a beacon. It's just facing the wither is a scary prospect when you're not particularly veteran hardcore player. And we also lost our bow and we've lost... Oh, hello. Before I was rudely interrupted, basically, a beacon is on the menu, boys. Just not yet. I just wanted to quickly show you, behind the scenes, I've been doing a little bit of work in leveling up our clerics. So I need to get to work mining out a huge area. However, like I said, I'm not going to go too overboard, but let's just time-lapse this and I'll discuss the whole plan. Okie dokie then, so we've spent a good like 5 or 6 hours mining out this area, but the brutal truth is we're probably barely a third of the way out of mining out this area, because not only are we going to have to mine this back a little bit more, we also need to mine out a giant hall on the other side where Durin's Bridge will connect up on the other side and kind of be the new start of our base. So we've probably got another 10 plus hours of mining, and as you've guessed it, I'm sick of doing it by hand. By hand, I don't mean using TNT or any sort of machine, because I don't want to do that just yet. I mean, we're going to get our very first beacon. Yes, that's right, I'm doing it a little bit earlier than I thought I was going to do. We're going to do it in this episode. So, there's a few things we need to do before we can actually get the beacon. The first thing we need to do is prepare our bow and sword fighting the wither, because our sword actually only has mending and looting on it, and we need sharpness 5. Buy the sharpness 5 book. Now let's see if we can add it onto our sword, and we can. I think, technically speaking, there is like 1 or 2 other enchants we can add to this sword. I think we can add like knockback 2 and flame 2, I think. I might be wrong, but I'm just going to leave the sword there for now. I think it should be good. Using a villager, we managed to lure him up here and turn him into a farmer. I really wanted to get him into there, but I haven't got a lot of time today. I've only got about an hour or 2, and I really want to try and get these wither skulls. So we're going to try and get some golden carrots from this guy by trading potatoes. He's just over there like, what doing? Well, thank you very much. Unfortunately, we didn't get the golden carrots off the trader just yet, and we haven't got any more potatoes to trade. So I decided to kill a few sheep for some food, and we'll have to get back to the golden carrots, but we did buy some bapples so that we can make a few golden apples, which might help us if we don't get the golden carrots. We are now going to head back into the nether to actually try and attempt to get 3 nether wither skulls. Hey, we finally got our first wither skull. Oh, I was actually on the verge of giving up. We have literally killed 78 wither skeletons to get our first ever skull. That is just insane, especially when we've got looting 3 on our sword. I was honestly expecting to be done by 70 odd kills, not, you know, just getting started. Oh well, carry it on. Well, we've got our second skull. We only need 1 more, but we are running quite low on food, so I'm going to try and be careful to see if we can get the 3rd, so we don't have to leave and come back just for more food. Okay, I think we're dancing with the devil here. We're literally on our last piece of food, and we're actually now draining our hunger bar. So I don't want to risk it, so we are going to have to head back with only 2 wither skulls, then come back again. Well, we can no longer sprint. I am not leaving it this late to return back to the base again. If it wasn't for the fact that I was also careful about the gold boots and they broke, we would have been in a lot of trouble right now. Oh, that was far too ballsy. We are not doing that again. And I think just purely because I can, I'm just going to do this. Just because I can, really, more than anything. Anyway, might be risky going back with bread, but I can't be bothered spending more time getting more meat right now, and the farmers need working on, so I'm just going back with bread and chancing it, because we only need 1 more wither skull. What's the worst that can happen? Well, I literally came back, killed about 3 withers, and we got the last skull that we needed. So let's go ahead, sort out our inventory, and make sure we're taking back all of the good stuff whilst leaving all of the rubbish. We'll probably come back for that nether brick because it'll be useful for building. We don't need anything else. Just a skull. Yep, okay, let's head back to the base. Okay, we are back at the base now, and we need to make a splash potion of strength, a splash potion of regeneration, and we need to just make sure that we've got a golden apple and a few other bits. So let's get to work preparing for the withers. And with a little bit of work, we now have a regeneration potion, which will also last for 1 minute 30 seconds. So we also can probably just put 1 of these away as well for a later time, taking 2 as an emergency. So let's go ahead and put these on our hotbar, as we can go ahead and start getting set up and prepared to fight the wither. Alrighty, so this is how we're going to be killing the wither. And look, I appreciate that not everybody's going to agree with this method, but at the end of the day, this is hardcore Minecraft, and it's my world, my rules. Get over it. But my heart is in my mouth right now. So here's my plan. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to place down. We forgot our soul sand. Back in a sec. Right. The time has come. We are going to fight the wither, and we stand here alone. So the first thing we're going to do is build the actual wither stand, like so. Now, all we have to do is place down the heads on top, and he should spawn in. So let's pop a potion of strength, regeneration, place down, skulls on top. And as he's spawning in, we're going to eat the apple. I'll place you and you on the hotbar. And here we go. We did it, yay! Well, we've actually got our very first nether star. Now, I actually do prefer, I'm the type of guy that actually prefers to kind of keep the first item that we get of like a major milestone like that. However, I'm not going and getting more wither skulls for a short while. And when I do, by the way, I am making a wither farm for sure. I am not going back and standing around for hours. I would rather spend a couple of hours building a farm that can then farm the withers for an hour or so than stand around and wait for them to spawn and kill them. So all we need to do is just grab a little bit of obsidian and a little bit of glass. And by the way, a cool little fact for you guys, this is the first ever beacon I have ever made in Minecraft. And I am not lying, this is legit the first beacon we have ever made. And there we are. Ooh, that makes a funky noise, I like that. We've come up to the iron farm to make some iron blocks so that we can make a full beacon. However, it is worth noting that our iron farm is actually technically broken right now because it doesn't have a zombie in there. So we are going to have to restart this bad boy. From watching a video on how beacons actually work, I do know that they actually only work the radius of the type of beacon that... So like say if you've got a beacon that's got a radius of like 60 blocks, it'll only work 60 blocks below it, so it's technically better to place it at bedrock. However, we only need it, we're only doing this at the moment to just kind of see what it looks like. As cool as that is, that's going to be really infuriating because I don't really want to have holes dotted around my base everywhere, but, you know, it's part of the mechanic, so we're going to have to figure something out. I don't know how we're going to incorporate this just yet, but let's just experiment with it really, really quickly. So I think we put in some iron. Then, oh, there we are. We now have haste. Wait, have I used the wrong... That doesn't feel... Is it the actual thing we're putting in? Do we need to go and get a diamond? Is it not supposed to be, like, instant mine? I feel like it's supposed to be, like, as if I'm mining nether, but... There we are. I was putting the ingot in and selecting haste, which was giving us haste 1. But then you have to select haste 2 and then hit. So this, in theory, should be a lot faster. Oh boy, yeah, this is a lot faster. Whoa. Oh, this is gonna make my life so much easier. Woo! Look at me go! We are gonna have a lot of repairing to do of the walls after we finish with this. It's not instant mine on ores though, but who cares when we got Instamine on stone now? Woo! Well, I am gonna actually go ahead and time-lapse me now, digging out everything that I need to dig out around here as far as I can go without leaving the haste. Because this... oh, I'm so happy. Okay, I owe you guys a bit of an apology because, truthfully, getting the beacon was probably the best thing I've done in this entire series so far. And I know many of you are going to be going to the comments and saying, yeah, Mike, we knew it was going to be good. But I didn't know just how good the beacon was going to be. We have literally shaved off probably 20 plus hours of mining just by getting that beacon, so it was definitely 100% worth it. But as you can tell, I haven't actually dug up our stairs yet, and that's just purely because I'm a bit sentimental, you see, as an individual. I am very much attached to things, and I don't really want to get rid of it, but I know that we're going to have to, because as you can see, that's where Durin's Bridge is going to start, and we need to dig all of this back and all the way down to the same level in order to continue. And as you can see, I've also started digging out up there, and that's where the bridge is going to go over to. So we're going to connect that area with that area. It's not going to be a long bridge, but it doesn't have to be. It just has to look like the iconic Durin's Bridge. So let's get to work. Well, we're currently working on facing off the east entrance side of the cliff to just basically neaten it up and make it look a lot better. And I thought we would actually go ahead and build a very basic version of the bridge so that you can get a sense of what this will start to look like. Now, I've been digging out some stuff off camera, and I don't normally dig out off camera, but I was kind of just in the vibe of watching some live streams and just got carried away. But I wanted to add a bit of depth to this bridge rather than just leave it as a 2D bridge. I wanted to make it look as if it's been dug out of the mountain. So that's what we're going to do by just placing down some stone and make it sort of extrude out of the mountain. And we've also brought along some stone slabs so that we can actually make this look even better and just add a lot more depth to the build. And we've got a lot that I want to kind of cover, but let's just quickly place you in there, and then all we have to do is just place the odd stone slab around, and then that should, then all we have to do is rinse and repeat on the other side. There we are, the other side's done. Now to get rid of the bridge, and we'll take a look. And the worst part about building is stepping away and turning around to take a look at it from a distance to see what it looks like. I think it needs to extrude out a little bit more on the sides, but we can come back and do that again in the future. Well, now we've got a bit of a challenge because I need to build 4 pillars at the entranceway of this area. And I want to make it so that the pillars kind of fit the aesthetic of the pillars that we've already built in the chest room. But the lore behind this entire area of the Dwarven Kingdom in the Lord of the Rings, if you are familiar with Khazad-dûm, is it was built as a defensive mechanism. So any armies invading would have to cross almost single file to get across, making it such an easy way to defend. Now, I want to design these in such a way that it looks like a carved out pillar as part of the design that the dwarves built, but also doubles up as a kind of watchtower design. So the dwarves can come and climb inside the back, and then there's like little holes where the dwarves could shoot arrows and things out of, or even have ballistas built into there theoretically. So we're going to try and design one, and then we'll basically, once we're happy with it, we can copy and paste it to the other 4. So like the others, I think we need to have a brick base, because that's just how we've built all of the others, and it would seem the most fitting to just have a brick block a brick block base, try saying that 5 times as fast, and then we can build up from there. I then think we take the stairs around each edge, but not into the corner like we normally would. Now this is where the design differs from the other pillars, because I think what we do is we place stone pillars, stone stairs, sorry, underneath to almost create like another flat surface. So now we've built like the defensive windows. I think we now just build the remaining as kind of similar to how we've done it before. So we basically put a ring of stairs around the entire perimeter. I feel like it's missing something, but that's the final kind of build. There's a... Hi, Jerry. I think we need a little bit more variation in the block work. I think that's kind of the main thing. I think I need to spend a bit of time kind of working this out. Now, we're not building Moria exactly how it is in other media. However, it was important to actually include this build in our Dwarven Empire because of the significance that it holds to me. As a child growing up, that first got me into the Lord of the Rings. I remember stood there watching the scene where Gandalf fights the Balrog. And when that scene played out, I remember just crying and just being an absolute mess because of how impactful it was on me as a kid. So I really wanted to include this build. So we finally finished the floor, and to be quite honest, I'm absolutely in love with it so much. This is probably, to date, I mean, it's the only floor we've kind of really done, to be honest, but I absolutely love it. I was a bit unsure at first, but the more I actually got through it, the more I actually realised that it still kind of looks like stone, but it's just a little bit more patterned, and it's a little bit of a different colour. It's kind of got that purple going on, so it kind of matches the armour we got going on here. So I am absolutely in love. I actually had a comment in our community section the other day from somebody who's just watching Lord of the Rings for the first time, and that pleases my little hearticles. That is the best thing I have ever seen, is when I encourage somebody to start the Lord of the Rings, and you guys have been so amazing, so thank you so much for watching. I've been the Mike James, also known as It's Me, Mickey T, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!